then he's having some problem with his security, this and that. So I go, okay, well, tell him to call me. I get a call from John McAfee, and he goes, hello, do you know who this is? And I said, yeah, John, what's going on, man? He goes, look. Now, the French Foreign Legion, people don't know, is a almost 200-year-old institution comprised of almost all foreigners, and they've fought in almost every war since Algeria to Iraq and Afghanistan.
So fascinating.
And they're comprised of just foreigners. It's modeled after the old Roman legions in that you serve your time and then you can earn citizenship of the country. That's the whole carrot.
All right, let's pause there real fast. We're gonna get deep into this.
Yeah.
I gotta take a piss.
Cool.
I know
So do I.
Murph over here struggling.
Yeah, let's do it.
So we'll be right back.
Perfect.
Real quick, before we get deep in this French Foreign Legion, we were talking about just off camera something else, one of your buddies or something, and you said you knew John McAfee?
Yeah.
How'd you know the billionaire John McAfee?
So I won't get
Who
into
didn't kill himself.
Yeah. So I went. So it happened. I did. He's got a nephew who's a team guy, and so I did multiple platoons with him. Yeah, and so, but by chance, I'm in the Vegas Centurion Lounge with a couple chicks, and who walks up to me is John McAfee,
Of course.
and he goes, "Hey, what are you doing?" And just by himself, he goes, "I don't usually walk around with my security." He goes, "My son's, my nephew's a team guy." I go, "Hey," just by chance, I'm in his platoon, right? And so I fucking, long story short, I get out, that guy calls me and goes, "Hey, my uncle," so I had met John McAfee. We exchanged information or whatever. A year later, I'm kicked out of the teams, and a year and some change later, and so that guy knows, and he goes, "Hey, my uncle's looking for somebody," and he already knows me by name, and he goes, "Is looking for somebody to be his personal security detail."
Oh my God.
So he goes, "My green," so then he's having some problem with his security, this and that. So I go, okay, well, tell him to call me. I get a call from John McAfee, and he goes, hello, do you know who this is? And I said, yeah, John, what's going on, man? He goes, look, my Green Berets are compromised. He's fucking insane, dude. And I go, yeah, what's up? He goes, I need you here in a week. And I go, dude, I can't do it. I had already won in the job. I have a girlfriend and this and that. So I go, dude, I can't do it. I go, but my buddy, who I just talked to you about, had just got kicked out the same time I did. Right?
Oh, he got kicked out too.
Well, he got pushed forced medically retired, right? He fought it until the very bitter end, 17 and a half years, and he pushed him out.
You sent him there.
So I go, John, hey, I got a guy, probably the most qualified fucking dude ever, and he's a great human being. I said, yeah, I got a guy for you. So he called him. John McAfee calls me back, this and that. They do play phone tag. I hit John back up to hit him up, and next thing you know, my buddy goes out there with him. Comes to find out, John loves this dude so much, he ends up making him head of security. Then he ends up making him CEO of Team McAfee. So then they got all involved in the crypto stuff. So my buddy's CEO of the fucking crypto company with John for a year and a hat and some change, making tons of money, doing all this stuff. And so that's why he ended up getting wrapped up in that.
Is this when John's on the run? Try and put it together.
They split ways, right, when he goes on the boat and goes on the run. So he was traveling around with John for all over, bro. He in the documentary with him chasing him. My buddy's in that documentary.
Oh, he's in that.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Yeah, he's in it. Yeah, he's the one with the beard and holding the gun and whatever. That's him. And so he's that whole time, and they had a breaking up and it was tumultuous, right? He'll go into that story, but it's a wild story, bro.
All right, yeah, we got it. That's a great suggestion. We will definitely talk. You have some good suggestions off camera with guys, so we'll definitely talk to him. But anyway, back to you then. Yeah. So you land in France after 8 days after Shotgun in the Jungle.
Yeah.
And you said you went for runs and stuff for like a week or something to get your system clean and get everything checked out. And now, how do you join the French Foreign Legion?
Man, I was running up to the Sacré-Cœur and Sacré-Cœur. And I just looked up at the gargoyles, man, and I said a prayer, bro. I was like, look out for me, man. We're doing this. And I just kind of in that state where I was smoking cigarettes, standing on the corner in this Parisian. I had no money left. I was staying in a hostel, like fucking sharing a bunk with this rugby player who was there, and I just was still sipping on vodka the night before I went in just to take the edge off, bro, because I was hurting emotionally. And I didn't even know what I had built up such habit. This is what I was just like, oh, you kind of just do that, and I just floating, rudderless, but I knew where I was heading finally. At least I had a direction, but I was still like fuck, man, I fucked my life up. That feeling.
Yeah.
I was still like, damn, dude, I'm just burning in here. But I sent a nice letter to my mom and dad. I said, hey, I organized my administrative affairs and like financial stuff and all that. And I said, okay, here, I'm going in. And I said, man, I'm afraid to make it. I'm afraid to get kicked out, not get taken. But I'm also afraid to make it. Like what my life's going to look like either direction.
What about your criminal record with them? Were you thinking about that being a problem?
Well, I didn't know, right? But I know they take credit. It was kind of built for the French Foreign Legion's kind of built for that. They taken that's what they're kind of taking guys with checkered backgrounds and all that stuff. That was what kind of their bread and butter was, their reputation. For a lot of years, they used to take murderers and criminals and guys, and so that was like their thing.
Nice.
And well, that was the aura of them, and still now to get into it, I mean, dude, guys, you get faces blasted with tattoos, dudes getting checked in, right? For coming out of gulags from fucking some dark hole in Russia. Hardcore motherfuckers, dude. So, but I didn't know what I was walking into because I had read some books. I had done some research. Man, there's like a hardcore reputation of hazing. Dudes dying in Djibouti, getting buried up to the fucking sand and dying. Nice. So I had some fear just in the unknown. But I had painted myself in the proverbial corner. I'm like, this is all I got. This is the epic story. I've never heard of a Navy SEAL being a Legionnaire. Let's rock and roll.
Oh, you said you were saying a prayer at one point. Are you were you a religious guy?
I'm not religious, but I have a very solid connection with the higher power, with God, if you want to call it, man. I always felt like there's this guiding force. I always felt like there's this guiding force, this orchestrating force, and I know it when I'm on a line path, and I know I stack karmic debt and get reprimanded heavily when I'm off of it. So I just started, and everybody's got that authentic voice, right? Call it whatever you want, universal, whatever. A good decision when you make it. Right. You don't have to negotiate a beautiful decision. That's what I always say. Getting up, working out, thinking right, acting right, shit's right. Then when you need to, maybe I'll just fucking do this weird shit. It's like, everybody knows.
100%. But it's also crazy how like I can relate this to my own life. I'm sure people listening can relate this to theirs. Like you can get away from that voice. Yeah. And it's not because it's not there. It's because you just consciously ignore it. Yeah. And then suddenly, it's like, you want to call it the universe, you want to call it your gut. I say it's a combination of both. Yeah. It's like, what are you doing, motherfucker? Yeah. And you're like, damn it, you were saying that the whole time. I still did all this shit. But now let's get it right. You really start tapping into a different energy and the universe starts working for you when you listen to that voice 100%. That's what changed my life, when you go full tilt on just doing the right shit. Thank you for watching the video, guys. If you haven't already subscribed, please smash that subscribe button and check out this clip's full podcast episode by clicking here or in the description below.